The Confessions of Saint Augustine, Book 8, Chapter 6 following. And these two were of those whom they style agents for the public affairs. Then suddenly, filled with a holy love and a sober shame, in anger with himself, cast his eyes upon his friend, saying, "Tell me, I pray you, what would we attain by all these labors of ours? What aim we at? What serve we for? Can our hopes in court rise higher than to the emperor's favorites? And in this there is there no Breton and full of perils? And by how many perils arrive we at a greater peril? And when arrive we thither? But a friend of God, if I wish it, I become now at once." So spoke he, and in chain with the travail of a new life, he turned his eyes again upon the book, and read on, and was changed inwardly, where you saw, and his mind was stripped of the world, as soon appeared. For as he read and rolled up and down the waves of his heart, he stormed at himself a while, then discerned and determined on a better course, and now being yours, said to his friend, "Now have I broken loose from those our hopes, and I am resolved to serve God, and this, from this hour, in this place, I begin upon. If you like not to imitate me, oppose not." The other answered, he would cleave to him, to partake so glorious a reward, so glorious a service. Thus both being now yours, were building the tower at the necessary cost, the forsaking all that they had, and following you. Then Pontitianus and the other with him that had walked in other parts of the garden came in search of them to the same place, and finding them, reminded them to return, for the day was now far spent. But they, relating their resolution and purpose, and how that will was begun and settled in them, begged them, if they would not join, not to molest them. But the others, though nothing altered from their former selves, did yet bewail themselves, as he affirmed, and piously congratulated them, recommending themselves to their prayers, and so with hearts lingering on the earth, went away to the palace. But the other two, fixing their heart on heaven, remained in the cottage, and both had affianced brides, who, when they heard hereof, also dedicated their virginity unto God. Chapter 7. Such was the story of Pontitianus. But you, O Lord, while he was speaking, did turn me round towards myself, taking me from behind my back, where I had placed me, unwilling to observe myself, and setting me before my face, that I might see how full I was, how crooked and defiled, bespattered and ulcerous. And I beheld and stood aghast, and whither to flee from myself I found not. And if I sought to turn mine eye from off myself, he went on with his relation, and you again did set me over against myself, and thrusted me before my eyes, that I might find out mine iniquity and hate it. I had known it, but made as though I saw it not, winked at it and forgot it. But now the more ardently I loved those whose healthful affections I heard of, that they had resigned themselves wholly to you to be cured, the more did I abhor myself when compared with them. For many of my years, some 12, had now run out with me since my 19th, when upon the reading of Cicero's Hortensius, I was stirred to an earnest love of wisdom, and still I was deferring to reject mere earthly felicity, and give myself to search out that, whereof not the finding only, but the very search was to be preferred to the treasures and kingdoms of the world, thou already found, and to the pleasures of the body, thou spread around me at my will. But I, wretched, most wretched, in the very commencement of my early youth, had begged chastity of you, and said, Give me chastity and continency, only not yet. For I feared you should hear me soon, and soon cure me of the disease of concupiscence, which I wish to have satisfied rather than extinguished. And I had wandered through crooked ways in a sacrilegious superstition, not indeed assured thereof, but as preferring it to the others, which I did not seek religiously, but opposed maliciously.